Hey, what's up YouTube? This is the Mermail Master coming at you with another video from the Team Time Riders YugiTube channel. Today I wanted to address the hypest card right now, and that card is Qliphort Monolith. Very recently we have seen a massive price spike for this card, going up from around $22 to $25 to around like $60 to $70, and some listings even quoting over $100 for this card. Now, I think that this hype is pretty crazy, particularly for a card that came out in Secrets of Eternity, but I can understand where the hype is coming from. Secrets of Eternity was one of the objectively worst sets in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! There were very little good cards in the deck, and it didn't really do much to bolster any existing archetypes. Granted, the Infernoids were introduced in there, but the fact that Monolith had to be made a secret rare was sort of like an indication of the dearth of good cards in the set. That mentioning, Secrets of Eternity was also on the old sort of rarity structure with not every single pack containing a super, so instead of that, instead of getting all supers, 4 ultras, and 2 secrets, you got, I think, like 5 to 6 supers, 2 ultras, possibly an ultimate, and then only 1 secret rare. And Monolith was one of 8 secret rares, probably the best secret rare in the set, but nonetheless had a lot of competition and was a hard-to-pull card from a very bad set. The card is also used in Metal Foes right now, and it's basically used as like an engine to create Cyber Dragon Infinity. You can send these Qliphort Monolith and then as well as Qliphort Scout to the extra deck using Qliphort Scout. Sending them to the extra deck, you set like Qliphort Scout or something like that, search a Qliphort Monolith out, and then use another Metal Foe to pop the Qliphort Scout / the Monolith, send them to the extra deck, special summon them, and then special summon a Cyber Dragon Infinity. But Qliphort Monolith basically like is being used for that purpose. And I think that Monolith is an indicator of sort of what's to come in the format and sort of a response by vendors to what Konami has done. Monolith itself is not really like used anymore for its Qliphort, like its abilities in the Qliphort deck. It's simply just used because it's a level 5 machine type monster, so you can overlay it with a Scout for Infinity. But Monolith itself is used, I guess, in mostly the Metal Foes decks because of that ability. And as I mentioned, you know, this sort of like move by the vendors is in response to Konami suddenly you know, changing up the rarity structure and like doing a lot of reprints and making cards easy to get. What we've noticed is so many vendors are buying out so many cards to try and, like, you know, predict price spikes and stuff like that. And Monolith has always been a very tough card to get. It spiked recently, or it spiked around YCS Providence to around $40 when Qliphort Demise was playing big over there. But the card is just maintaining its value. It's never dropped below maybe like 15 to 20 bucks. I've owned several Monolith during my time, and the card just will either keep spiking or will go down to a value. Not to mention this thing was never reprinted in the Megatins, which I don't know, you know, what kind of monkey at Konami was making that decision, but that's just led to this thing being insanely expensive. And I think that this price spike might stick around for a little while when vendors start listing their stuff or when other people start putting more monoliths online. But nevertheless, it was something that I wanted to talk about, particularly because of how much hype is around this card currently. It's not really too good of a card in terms of anything else but Metal Foes, but, you know, the hype around this card and the fact that vendors are buying this out, they've bought out like all the Mermail stuff, like, so Dragoons are sitting online right now at $150 to $200, which is absolutely insane. Like, there's just like a ton of hype in the market right now, and I think, like, you know, Qliphort Monolith is the start of the insane amount of scalping we're about to see in the market. So I'm hoping that Konami is taking notice of this. If they are, maybe they're taking, you know, drastic steps. They're going to reprint Monolith as like a super rare if they release like an Invasion of Venom special edition over here in America, and just basically make the card a little bit easier to get. Other than that, you know, this has been basically a review not only of Qliphort Monolith, but of also just the hype surrounding it and what I think of the hype surrounding it. If you like this video, please remember to give it a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for Team Time Riders content. And yeah, if you like the review, leave a comment as well. And this has been the Mermail Master with a review of Qliphort Monolith, and I'm signing out. See you guys next time.